And I insert this. Yes, you see over here, this has started working. If you see these lights, everything is working. Hello guys, how are you all doing? So in today's video I'm going to show you a quick solution, and this is about my car. This is the Toyota Fortuner 2015 1KD FTV 3-liter D4D engine, just for the specifications. And I'm going to just quickly show you one of the issues which I faced recently. So this is the older Fortuner model, and I just recently faced a small issue, and I'm going to just discuss and give you a tip how do you solve it. So let me get inside the car, and so this is everything looks fine over here. And I'm going to talk about a particular thing, which is, you see out over here, this is the power port. Let me remove this adapter. This power port, it gives you power to charge up your electronics like mobile and other GPS and things like that. It will charge, it will give power out over here. There's a notice written out over here to use the maximum 120 watts power. So actually in this particular car, what I have is, I have the power port over here, and there is a port on the third row seat as well, on the last seat as well, just near the luggage section. After the rear seat, there is this similar port as well. So both the ports are available out over here, and this is, I'm going to talk about this particular power port today. So let me again attach this particular adapter out over here, which is an aftermarket adapter. I have purchased this long back. Let me insert it out over here. This is an adapter which is kind of in splitter. It gives me 1, 2 and 3 ports out over here, plus some of the USB ports are available here and at the side of it as well. I can put directly the USB cables. This is a charger with 2 USB ports and this particular thing. So what I've done is actually installed a splitter. So from one port I'll be having 3 ports for various of the devices, and for my convenience I bought this device very long back. It's been working pretty fine all these years. Now that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about this particular port. Let me just switch on the ignition first. So once the ignition is switched on, or maybe even on the accessory let's say position of the ignition, the accessories will start working. So irrespective, I'll just switch on the ignition and now show you this particular device. So this particular splitter, as I called it also real time shows me the battery health over here. So it's a voltmeter, and with a digital display out over here, 12.5. The ignition is on. I have not started the car yet. So once I start the car, what happens is the voltage which increase, it's 13.9. It gives you a very pretty good indication. Let me switch off the car again so that there's no noise. It gives you a pretty good indication about what my battery health is, and it has helped me in many situations, this particular device. And I really like this design, the splitter, the voltmeter in front of me and all that. So 2 days back, what happened is, there was a little bit of a low pressure in my tire, air pressure in my tire. So I pulled up my tire inflator electronic device. That is also a pretty old device, been working since a very long time. I got a portable battery operated device as well, but I thought that let me plug the tire inflator in one of these free ports out over here, and I started filling up the air. As usual, I was just filling up the air, and suddenly what happened is, I noticed that there was a small drop of voltage out over here to 12ish while the car is running. So whenever you use the tire inflator, I would always suggest, irrespective of the tire inflator brand, if you use these kind of accessory ports, keep the vehicle running, not just in the accessory position. Keep the vehicle running. So the car was running at 2 days back, and I was filling the air, and I noticed a small drop of the good amount of drop of voltage out over here, and within just few seconds it stopped. My tire inflator stopped, this particular device stopped, everything stopped. So what I did is I started troubleshooting. Like I thought that maybe this device itself has gone down, so I removed the device and I directly put in my the plug of the charger out over here. I did that with 2 or 3 things. This particular thing is out over here, which is like some of those magical lights or whatever you call it. Let me just show you. Switched it on, and once you switch on this particular thing, you see those, it's daytime, so you won't really know the effect. So I've installed this on the rear, you can see on this side. So in the night time, like if I want to switch on, I'll just switch it on. It comes with a small remote. I can change the colors and all that. I know I'm been digressing a lot, but all of these information I'm sure will help you to fix up your car or maybe cosmetically beautify your car. So this is a small nifty, very cheap device from Amazon. I got it. So I tried troubleshooting, directly inserting out over here as well. It didn't work. So immediately I found that yes, this particular power port has stopped working. And what I did is I did a similar test on the rear side. There is a similar port available, but that port also had stopped up. So I could make it out that both of these ports, one is this and the rear side on the luggage area behind the back seat, both of them have something in common of the circuit, because both of them suddenly stopped working. And the first thing is, after troubleshooting and trying with different devices, I figured out that the port itself has the problem, and most possibly the issue is with the fuse. Maybe the tire inflator drew some more power and something like that, and the fuse conked off. So that's what I started with, the fuse. Now directly coming out, the fuse for this particular thing is located inside the car itself. So there are 3 major fuse boxes, and I'm going to show you all of these 3 major fuse boxes. Let me stop over here and show you the first primary fuse box. So now I opened the bonnet, and the first fuse box I'm going to show you is within the engine bay compartment itself. This is the main fuse box out over here. How do you open it? There are small plastic clips. I already opened it up. There are small plastic clips like these. You just gently pull out and this whole box would just come out. So this is the main fuse box, and behind the fuse box, typically with any vehicle, behind the fuse box you would see that the diagram is given, that the specifications of what are the various fuses. 15 amp is for this and 10 amp for this, and so on and so on. So behind this box itself, just keep this inside clean and you would be able to read it out. So there are these various fuses out over here, and there is this very small nice device, this particular thing. You just pull it out and it's a fuse plucker. Let me just try to focus it. It's a fuse plucker. So what you do is, you're supposed to just clip the head of the fuse like this and just pull it out. So it's easy. You can also use like a small nose plier as well, but this small device is already given out over here. So this is the first device. I'll just, for a moment, because I'll use it in a moment, I'll take this out. So the fuse for this power outlet, which we showed inside the car, is not located in this engine bay. So that is the first part of it. This is the first fuse. It's not located out over here, and I'll use this device in a moment. The second fuse box, on the passenger side of it, in this particular model, this is an Indian car, so it's a right hand side driving, and this is the passenger side. So you would find, once you go behind the glow box, okay, it's a bit difficult. Possibly I'll just remove the glow box for you, and let me try to sneak in. And 1 minute. So once you pull out the glow box, you can see there is a fuse box out over here as well, and there are a couple of fuses out over here inside the manual also, and on the sticker as well. Bit difficult to just read out the whole sticker for you, but it is mentioned each fuse is meant for what other purposes. By the way, in the main engine bay there would be some space for some spare fuses as well. Just a handy tip, you know what is this? This is your blower motor for the AC, and this is where the cabin air filter is. You open up like this, and inside is the cabin air filter. You can see one of my other video to how to clean the cabin air filter, and maybe how to replace it. So not for today's video. So this is the second fuse box, and I'll stop over here because I need to close this again, this particular glow box. I'll just close it back. Okay, so now comes the third fuse box, and which is related to this power outlet, and I suspect that it's this power outlet and the back side power outlet both are connected to the same circuit, possibly from the same fuse. So that's what I suspect, and I'm going to just show you the third fuse box. The third fuse box is out over here. You can see, okay, this is the lid. One latch and this side. So this is the lid just below the steering, and how you just open it up, you just gently pull out this side and it will open, and put the finger slightly in this particular gap and pull out this side, and this whole thing would come out. Firstly, I'll just show you the clips. There are two clips out over here, one clip out over here, and there are these three hinges which fixes in these holes out over here. This is, by the way, the OBD port where you connect for the scanner. So there are these three holes, hinges, where this particular thing fix it in, and this will hole get closed like this. So let me show you the fuse box again. On the back side of this particular thing is also the chart for the fuse box, what fuses are for what purposes. Let me give you a glimpse of the fuse box. 1 minute, let me start the flash. You can see this is the third fuse box. A lot of wiring is also there, like, let's say a lot of aftermarket lights and all that is put. Let's say this particular light, which is whenever the door opens, this light comes up. It's been installed many years back and been running, so far so good. And again, they might be picked up from over here, so a lot of wirings and all that. So this is the third fuse box. Now let me show you which particular fuse is of our interest for this particular power outlet. So behind this particular cover, you just go closely. Again, use designated size fuse only and all that, and this chart is given. So let me just try a moment to just show up the entire chart, and the number is mentioned out over there, and below the number is mentioned in this rectangle box, and below it is the purpose. So 10 ampere AC, MET, I don't know. 15 amp for the cigarette lighter socket, that's what I assume. Cigarette lighter socket is this particular socket. You have to just push in for a moment, and after that, once it becomes hot, the coil is hot, and then that's what the cigarette lighter socket, that's what I feel is this particular socket. CIG. ACC is for accessories connection. Ignition. WIP, I don't know. On this side, 15 amp for INJ, is it injector, I don't know. 7.5 for OBD, 10 ampere for stop, 10 ampere for tail, so stop light, some tail light, that's what I presume. More on the manuals details. 15 amp for the power out. So that's the last fuse on this particular side. There's a longer side, there's a shorter side, just for my easy reference. So that is the last one, and this is the fuse which is of our interest. So this is that tweezer which I pulled out from the main engine compartment I showed you earlier. So this we are going to use it, and let's just go over there. You can see this is the longer side, the shorter side, the last one, and according to that figure in that particular thing, this is the 15 ampere. This is perfect. Don't just change the sizes of the fuse, because then that would create an issue. If it's 15 amp written by the company, use 15 amp, don't just increase or decrease. So this is the 15 amp. What you do is you gently just use this tweezer, just put this tweezer back over here, press it and just pull out. So this is how the fuse will come out. 1 minute, let me get this fuse out and show you. This is what came out. Okay, so you just remove the fuse. So let me try to show you the fuse in a bit of a light. So what I just placed out over here, let me try to zoom in and focus. Okay, on this angle you could see it's not connected. The fuse is bad now. In the center part it's gone. The old fuse is definitely bad, and 15 amp is the power output fuse. So what I did is I went to my nearby Toyota's workshop, and they were kind enough to give me the same fuse. So this is the part number for that particular fuse. You could just note it down if you require. 15 amp. This again imported from Japan, some 58 rupees. This is the part number, and you could get it in local stores as well. So this is the new fuse which I got, but the local fuse which cost like 10 rupees or something, I didn't want to take those local ones. They are not very good quality. They just conk off very often. I want to take the real original one. These last really very long. So I had already bought this yesterday from the store, and they were kind enough to do a counter sale to me. Let me show you the difference between the old and the new fuse in this particular light angle possibly. You can see the center area is connected out over here. Now you can see there is this small arc. It's connected, and it's not connected out. It's broken out over here, and it's connected. This is the new fuse. So what we are going to do is just again, it's a bit difficult to shoot with one hand and do the task with another, but you get the point. You just pull up this tweezer, fix this, and push back the fuse in this particular position itself. So this is how we just go inside, just make our way inside. Okay, and you see the slot is given, and carefully just push the fuse inside the slot. It's a bit tight position out over there. So what I've done is I've pushed the fuse a bit inside, and now using my finger itself in the slot, I'll just push it so the fuse entirely goes inside and forms a circuit. So this is what I've done to just show you. So the fuse is inside, and now what we will do is I want to just check this, that with the fuse everything is okay, and I switch on the ignition and I insert this. Yes, you see over here this has started working. If you see these lights, everything is working. So this has started working. It shows my voltage out over here. Everything is working. So in fact I did change the fuse earlier itself before starting the video. Just wanted to show the entire process. So I had already changed, hence in the start of the video when you see this was working, it was with the new fuse, and just wanted to show you the entire process. How do you change the fuse of this power outlet? I did check that yes, by changing this particular fuse, this particular port and the port on the rear side both starts working, and this is the job done with this fuse. Everything is done. Now the task is this particular tweezer, you need to just put it in the main engine bay fuse box, and now is the task of installing back this particular cover on the fuse box. So it's a simple process. You would find that there are 3 hinges on this particular fuse box. Align these hinges in those small, let's say, holes or whatever, and once it just goes in the hinge, and you just press it out over here. So that's done. On this side you press it, and the fuse box is installed, closed, the lid is closed, and this particular power outlet is started. So the whole point of showing this video was that in case if anybody comes across this particular issue, that the power outlet in this particular car, Toyota Fortuner D4D 2015 model, if it's not working, then the first thing is to check the power outlet fuse, which is a 15 ampere located under the steering. That's the power outlet fuse. I changed it, and showed you how you can do this entire processor. It just takes around 5 minutes to 7 minutes hardly doing this whole process. In this video, of course, by shooting it took a little bit more time, cutting and editing and doing it one hand and things, but I hope that some of you might find this video helpful, useful, and that's all for now. You all take care and stay safe and enjoy life. Bye bye and see ya soon.